What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only Ash Said It, ashsaidit.com, ashsaidit.com, and welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast. Happy Monday, peoples. I know everybody's been having a great weekend. We're going into some Turkey Day, it's happening, happening in a couple of days. So hopefully you guys are surrounded by family and friends and loved ones. And I have a special guest today. Yes, this lady she hails all the way from Toronto, Canada. The one and only, the lovely Miss Paige.
Hello, good evening.
Hey, Miss Paige, I'm great. How are you doing today?
I'm fabulous. Thank you so much for inviting me on your show today.
Awesome. I appreciate you. I know you got a tight schedule. You're here, you're there, you're a little bit of everywhere. So we snuck a little interview in between, studio sessions.
Always got to make time for Ash, though.
Aww,
Ash said it.
such a sweetie. We definitely go back, Miss Paige. We definitely go back a ways. But for the audience that's tuned in now that maybe they don't know anything about Miss Paige, they have no idea who you are. I'm just talking to this random lady. Give everyone a brief synopsis of who Miss Paige is.
All right. Well, as you said, I hail from the cold. I'm up here in Toronto in the six, but my family is from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm a singer-songwriter. I fuse the passion of R&B with, the passion of the Caribbean with the soul of R&B. I do a lot of soca and lovers rock reggae. You can check me out at Miss Paige Music on all social media. And yeah, you and I go way back. It's been years since our first conversation, so I'd like to thank you for being a part of my journey.
Oh, well, I appreciate you. And I'm always a supporter of real artistry. You know this, real artists that really will sit down there, pen and pad, right there in the studio, getting the stuff out and shooting out really good positive energy and positive vibes. So today, Miss Paige, I definitely want to touch on just, I can't even jump into any particular thing, but right now there's just so much negativity in the world. You turn on social media, you turn on the news, it's something negative, it's something crazy. And I will say that you're a seasoned vet. You're a vet in the game, and you've been around for a long time. And your mother, who is also a seasoned veteran herself.
Yes.
You guys have seen a lot of this game. When I say game, I'm talking about this music game, this music industry. How do you keep above the negative vibes?
That's a good question. One of the hardest things of being in the music industry is that you are often judged beyond your character. You are a package. You have put yourself into this situation. Nobody forced you to be here. You chose it for yourself. So you truthfully have to have some thick skin to succeed. And that's where I actually fail. Music is my passion. I write, I sing, I play a number of instruments, and it's always just out of fun. And it's very hard and difficult to almost ignore the negative things that people might have to say about you that have nothing to do with your craft and nothing to do with what you are sharing with the world. So in order to combat that, I really have a very small, close circle of friends. Granted, I have lots of acquaintances, but those who are nearest and dearest to me are very close, and they help to keep me grounded and help me to realize that the negativities in the world are things that I can't hold on to. You take it and you blow it away.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when did you realize that you had this gift of song?
Since conception.
So what did like this one here? She's gonna make us some money. Yes, winner.
To be honest, as you said, I grew up in a very musical family. My grandparents met in a radio station in Trinidad. They became known as Trinidad and Tobago Singing Sweethearts. They toured the world. They opened for Nat King Cole, Duke Ellington, all these amazing artists. And they had some kids along the way. And the kids and them formed a group called the Johnson Family. They toured as well. I think it was the Pointer Sisters that they were opening for.
Wow.
Then the kids went solo with their friends, and they had a group called Sweet Ecstasy here in Canada. They won a few Black Canadian awards. They opened for acts like Kool and the Gang. My mom then went solo. She's a 6-time Juno nominee, which is essentially the Grammys of Canada.
That's huge.
And so when I say that this is from conception, it really has been a part of my life. Music has been like embedded in my DNA. It's just a part of me. It was just a matter of time for me to step onto the stage myself and make a name for myself outside of my family's shadow. So it really has been since the beginning.
Gotcha. Now, a lot of musicians will say that they came from a musical family, and those generations up above said, look, don't worry about the music scene. It's changing. It's crazy. It's whatever. Did mom discourage you in any route to going towards music?
The whole family kind of did, to be honest. When I finished high school, I wanted to go to Berklee College of Music in the States. And my family was like, Paige, sorry. Way to go and put my name out there.
Either way, we get it.
Right? It's okay. So they said, we know that you have a passion for music. I mean, growing up in this family, but we need you to study something that is a fallback just in case, because it's hard, it's difficult. Mm-hmm. So I took my family's direction, and I went to the Schulich School of Business, which is kind of like the Harvard of Canada. I got my degree in marketing, and I applied that to my music. And then years later, I did study artist management and music marketing through Berklee, but through online. So I did get it.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, they've always been about the business side of it. And that's one thing that I'm thankful that they pushed me for, because I've been able to do this really independently, with the support of my mother being my manager, but really I've learned the business behind it, which was lacking for during my family's period of time. Like, they had managers, they had people who did this for them, but with my mother, I'm able to, do it for myself.
Definitely. So let's talk a little bit about your songwriting process. Where does a song come from for Miss Paige?
It comes from Pure White Hennessy and ginger ale.
So what you're saying is I need some Pure White Hennessy, and then I don't think I'm going to sound like you. I'm fairly confident it's not going to come out that way, bitch.
Well, at least that's the soca. The reggae comes from red wine. I'll be honest. But no, honestly, I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of talented producers. It's very rare that I'm sent an instrumental that I'm not inspired to write to. So I'm thankful for that. Typically, people reach out to me with some instrumentals, and if I catch a vibe and the lyrics flow like water immediately, then I'll write the song. If I struggle, I usually say no. It needs to come naturally. I can't feel forced.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Cool bean. So, what's up for Miss Paige next?
All right. Well, I was quiet for a while. I did take an 18-month break when I turned dirty, flirty 30.
All right.
Yeah, I wanted to take some time to focus on myself and see how I was without music, without being Miss Paige, because I've done this it was about 10 years at that point. Wow. I'm now at my 12-year mark. But yeah, I took some time off, and when I came back, I released a lovers rock reggae song last fall called Old School Love, and this song spent 32 weeks on the Canadian reggae chart, hitting number 1 for 6 consecutive weeks and being classified as a Canadian reggae hit single. I was so lucky. When you've gone on the road for so long, you never think that anyone's waiting for your return or is happy for your return. So for Canada to welcome me back with open arms, it's just been incredibly heartwarming. So over the past year, I've released a few more reggae songs, a few soca songs. My latest reggae song called Waiting in Vain for You is number 7 on the Canadian reggae chart. You can also get that on iTunes. It's distributed by VPAL Music. But yeah, it's been great. So I have a lot of new stuff that's come out. I'm looking to bring out some more new material in the new year, some collaborations. Just keep an eye out for it. It's going to be fun for 2017.
Definitely. So any plans for an album?
People always ask me that, but I feel as though this day and age with digital tools, especially like
Mm-hmm.
iTunes,
Yeah.
an album is not always necessary. Um, Also, I like the variety of working with a number of different producers. And in my
Right.
mind, when you release an album, you want something that's a little bit more consistent and solid with who you are working with and tells a consistent story versus working with different people with different feels, different things that they bring to the table. And I can't pinpoint just one or two producers that I'd like to work with just for one entire album. I love working with all these different people.
Yeah.
So that's also a challenge. And really, do people buy entire albums anymore from
I don't
independent
think
artists?
so.
I'm not sure. Even the big name artists, when you can just get singles
Yeah,
so
just pick and
easily.
choose. I mean, that's a no one has really presented it like that, but no, when you put it like that, you're absolutely right. Like, I mean, going through, I couldn't tell you when I've bought an entire album last
Right? And that's a
versus
lot of
it.
money.
Yeah, it adds up. So, it may be like one or two tracks that you're like, oh yeah, I love that one. Oh, I love this one
Yeah.
too. But no, you're right. You're definitely right
Actually,
about
I
that.
can't even lie though. I bought Adele's album. That album is
Oh,
amazing. She just spoke to my soul on like every
Adele.
track.
Oh my gosh. So how do you feel about Adele possibly not singing anymore? 'Cause I know you
What?
heard
I
about
didn't
that.
hear that.
She Well, she was a pretty heavy smoker. She smoked on the regular, and she said that smoking really kind of enhanced her voice, so to speak. And in her mind, and this is just, this is her just kind of playing with ideas. She didn't say, no, I'm not ever singing ever again, but she
Mm-hmm.
said that her voice has kind of changed, and she doesn't know if she's really comfortable with this change, be it that she's not smoking. She gave up smoking because, it wasn't good for her health. She has a
Right.
child now, and, life just goes on. So
Exactly.
that may possibly be something that happens. How do you feel about that?
Wow. I'm actually really sad about that. I think that she brings something completely different and a breath of fresh air to this music industry. There's so many, I don't mean to throw shade at anybody, but there are so many artists out there that just sound the same.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
not only brings talent, but substance in her lyrics. And I love seeing artists who also write their material and have
Yes.
something to say. So that's sad. I wonder if she'll become a songwriter. Like, honestly, I can't pen something and then give it to somebody else. It's just
Yeah.
too much of me. I'm putting
Yeah,
myself
but
out there on paper, but people are like, there's money in that to be made. You should, but it's more than money for me.
because it's like every track is like your baby. This is
Right?
like your child. You're just giving away the baby.
Right?
Yeah.
And how do I tell somebody, no, don't sing it like that? That's not how I wrote it.
Right. That's a good wow, that's a good point.
So all power to those who are able to write and then pass that on, because that is like, yeah, carrying a baby for 9 months
Yeah.
and then passing it on.
Passing it on. I commend and I tip my hat to you singer-songwriters out there that are doing both because it's clearly a lot of work. It's clearly
Definitely.
a lot of work. So, what are you working on now as far as music goes? Are any particular tracks or songs or producers that we can talk about possibly?
Well, I do have some stuff that I'm working on. I don't want to jinx it, so I don't want to say anything. But there might be some new soca in the new year.
Okay.
If I can finish writing it.
We'll count on that. We'll put out good vibes.
And then what? I love to show off my versatility. So I am collaborating with a good friend of mine. His name is Jeff Kearns. He plays soul, R&B, hip hop on the flute. The man is off the chain. So we have something coming out in the new year. So keep an eye out for that as well. Very sexy, very romantic. So get ready for that.
Okay. Well, now that we're talking a little bit about instruments, I went to the Pentatonics concert last week.
Ooh.
And I don't know if are you familiar with the Pentatonics?
Yes.
I wasn't really that familiar, Paige. I'm not gonna lie. My 17-year-old cousin was, she's been ranting and raving about them for like the last year. And I had a contact that was like, hey, Ash, you want to do a blog feature? You know, we got media passes for you and a guest. Come out to the show.
Nice.
So I was like, okay, bet. So I went out. Well, I Googled them first because, you know, you got to be educated on what you're doing. You got to, you know, have some knowledge about it. And I was just like, wow, like they're just, it's an a cappella group and they're just, no instruments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get out there and two things happen. They have an opening act called Us the Duo. You guys out there listening, go to ustheduo.com. They are phenomenal. It is a husband and wife pair. And they're so cute, Paige. Like, they honestly want you, they make you want a relationship. Like, you're like, oh my gosh, I need a boyfriend that is going to love me on stage like that. Like, they complement each other so well. They harmonize. It's just beautiful. And they are just so phenomenal. They were just, I can't, like I said, you guys go on social media, Us the Duo, go check them out, ustheduo.com. And I was pleasantly surprised with them. And I was like, okay, that's an act that I'm definitely going to start to follow and check them out some more. They did a mashup of like the top 40 hits.
I feel like I've seen them on Facebook.
You probably have, because I've never heard of them before, but apparently they're huge. They got millions of followers on all the platforms. But they did a mashup page of like 15 different tracks in one time. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I wasn't ready. I was
like
that.
Kevin Hart.
Yes, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I wasn't ready. Yeah, I wasn't ready. But they were so impressive, and so they left an impression on me that was phenomenal. Phenomenal. So then the Pentatonics come out, and they are even more amazing live than they are on YouTube. YouTube does not do them justice. They have their energy up. They're doing songs back to back to back. And one of them is 5 members. Don't ask me the names because I'm still trying to figure out. All I know is Kevin. All right, Kevin is the black guy in the group, and he plays the cello. So I was like, okay, Kevin's gonna do a little solo. That gives him a time to kind of reset the stage. Blase. Okay. Kevin gets out. He's in the middle of the stage, and he is, you know, he's saying, what is it, Bach Suite Number 1. He's gonna do that. He's like, but I'm gonna do it with a twist. This is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorites that I, you know, grew up, you know, playing. I just love it. I'm going to play this for you guys, but with a twist. So I'm like, okay. All right. So he starts playing it, and I'm like, oh, wow, you know, he's really good. I used to play string instruments back in the day, so I have an appreciation for anyone that can play an instrument. That is just amazing, much less a, you know, a string instrument. Mm-hmm. He plays halfway through the song page, and then he stops. He starts to beatbox on the mic, and he continues to proceed playing the cello at the same doggone time.
What?
I lost my mind. I gotta send you the video because it's unbelievable. Did not miss a note. Did not miss a beat. And I was just like, I lost my shit. I did. I lost my mind. Because I was like, oh my God, did you see what he's doing? People, I don't know the people next to me. I'm just sitting up there yelling at them people. But it was so phenomenal. And they really made me appreciate real artistry again. Not that I didn't appreciate it before, but the fact that there are real artists still out there. Mainstream media is not doing it. We'll go ahead. I know you can't necessarily say it. I will say it. Mainstream ain't doing it, Paige. You and I both know. You turn on the radio, it's some bull crap on the radio today. It really is. No one's trying. No one is challenging themselves. No one is putting out good music anymore. So to see this group of 5 completely different individuals, probably from different backgrounds from all over the world, and to see them comprised as one solid group, to see how they complement one another. They're not on stage competing for attention. They're not overshadowing one another. They're letting each person shine during their specific time or whatever. It was amazing and it was beautiful.
It's just a greater message for the whole world.
It is. It really, really was. It absolutely was. And so that's why I wanted to touch bases with you because I mean you're one of my I love you to death, Paige. I love you. Everything that you
Oh.
put out there. You know I'm always trying to post and repost stuff. Every time I get that email, I know Mama be sending out the email. Mama sends out the email. I go and I post about it because you're an artist that definitely people need to be watching for. People need to be looking for all over. Because once your stuff hits, that's really when that's when things picks up.
Thank you so much. It's so kind of you.
Definitely gonna pick up. But as we close out here today, Paige, what words of encouragement would you share with the audience of people that may be going through difficult times? Maybe they lost their job, it's the holiday season, maybe they're having issues in their family. What words of encouragement would you offer people today?
Well, to be honest, I'm someone who is very passionate and advocate for mental health awareness, and a mantra that I love to repeat and tell people to help them get through their dark times. It's very simple. It's 4 lines. It's you are not alone. You are good enough. You are worth it, and you matter.
I love it.
It's true, though.
Yes, it is.
So true.
It is absolutely true. All right, you guys. So this was Miss Paige. Miss Paige, let everybody know how they can follow you. I know they're going to be trying to stalk you and all that great stuff. How can they find you online?
So I make it so easy to holla at your girl. Everything is Miss Paige Music. That's MSPAIGE Music. Whether it's Instagram, YouTube, my website, SoundCloud, Twitter, Facebook, Miss Paige Music.
Awesome sauce. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, awesome sauce. Everybody's awesome. But I thank you so much for coming on and chilling with us today, Paige.
And thank you for having me.
Oh, not a problem. Much more success. I know, we're looking out for you. We definitely know that things are going to hit for you soon and very soon. And for everybody that's out there listening, I appreciate you guys downloading the show on all the platforms. I'm so honored to be in such good company and to have people to reach out to me and say, hey, Ash, I listened to your show. It really made a difference. Thank you for your motivation, because I honestly am just sharing this stuff for me. A lot of the times when I'm talking on my phone, I'm hitting up the app. I'm talking to myself. I'm pumping myself up. But if I can help another soul just by saying what's on my mind and clearing the air and keeping myself pumped up, well, I think that I definitely met my goal, met my mission. So I love you guys to pieces. Thank you so much. Kisses all across the world. Anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them in the face and tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. All right? Point blank period. Stick a fork in it. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Y'all go check the website. We got updates, blog features all over the place. I will holla at y'all later. Deuces.